What's going on, everybody? I'm Can't Kill Dill, lover of all things morbid, macabre, and fucked up. If you feel like that describes you, then maybe we're kindred spirits. Or maybe you should pose as a little girl, convince the like button and its family to adopt you, and then murder them. Murder the like button and its family.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Feel the rosy air.
Groovy.
This is FLIX, a series in which I go back and visit films that I just totally fucking snoozed on, because I do consider myself a massive horror fan. I live and breathe this genre. I have since I was just a small child, but I'm not one of those horror fans that pretends to know everything about every fucking film that ever released, or to have seen every film that has ever fucking released in the horror genre. I'm not one of those snooty horror fans where if you haven't seen this film, then you're not a true horror fan. Bullshit. Because there are many reasons to have not seen a film. Whether it be, maybe you planned on seeing it in the first place, but shit just got in the way. Life got in the way, because that's kind of what happens. Or maybe the big twist ending was spoiled for you. And so you just kind of figured, if the main draw was the huge twist ending, and it got spoiled for you, then what's the point, you know? What's the point of seeing that then? Which is exactly my reasoning for, well, the film I'm about to talk about now. For not seeing The Orphan. And I just gotta say, what a shame that I didn't get to experience this film the way it was meant to be, you know, completely blind. I mean, holy shit, what an experience that would have been. Because damn, the cast did fantastic. Vera Farmiga and Peter Sarsgaard were awesome. Vera Farmiga a little more, but Isabel Fuhrman, dude. Holy shit. Why is she not talked about more? I feel like the character of Esther is so maniacal and so twisted. I feel like just that one film alone, she kind of earned her ranks as a horror icon. Just totally spectacular. She was so good that even going into the movie, already knowing what the twist was at the end, already knowing how this story was eventually going to unravel, she was so good that by the first time you meet her in the orphanage, when she's like doing her little painting, and Peter Sarsgaard's character, John, I think, John comes in and he starts talking to her for the first time. Dude, she like instantly sells me, like I damn near forgot. Like, oh yeah, this bitch is like in her 30s and a psychopath. Right. Dude, that's crazy. And so maniacal. The whole vibe of this movie was so disturbing. Like, when it comes to like, you know, kid killers or like kid horror, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, I was like really disturbed by The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. This totally shits on that movie. Completely. And even though I'm several years late to, you know, this experience, or, you know, semi-experience, because I didn't get to experience it how it was meant to be, I'm glad I still decided to watch, which I did because, you know, with Orphan First Kill coming out, and I was like, well, you know, everybody already knows Esther's secret, so, you know, if they thought they could still make a good story, even with her secret being out, then maybe I should just go back and watch The Orphan. And I'm super glad I did. I mean, talking kills and body count, it's surprising for a slasher. I mean, it's extremely low for a slasher. There's 2 kills in the whole film. Sister Abigail and then, you know, John. Sister Abigail's death was brutal. Her using the little sister Max, you know, to, you know, throw her in the road and get the nun to pull over and then murder her with the hammer. And then, you know, kind of force that little girl, you know, to keep the secret because she's a part of it. And I mean, shit, that was just so so good. And then John's death, I really didn't think that he was going to die. I didn't think he was going to bite it. So that was actually pretty shocking to see that happen. So I got to say, it was just, for how little slashing was actually done in this, because I'm pretty sure I would consider this a slasher, really. It finds a way to be that good all the way through without, relying on that kind of, that kill factor. It's a really disturbing story through and through. And there are really uncomfortable moments. And this kind of harkens back to Isabel Fuhrman's acting ability. At just, I think, like 11 years old is when she was playing this character in the first film. She really sells that she could be a middle-aged woman with these emotions and feelings, all wrapped together in a big psychotic kind of bow. But she really sells that. It's super disturbing. Some key scenes with her and John are just, yeah, but really good, really, really good. And then, towards the climax, when, she, takes off the makeup, takes out the false teeth, takes her fucking ribbons off and shit, and they made her look like a middle-aged woman, but small. It was believable, and not just because of the makeup work, but because she really, really embodies it, and it's shocking. There's a lot of positives to this movie, but I also think maybe there's some negatives, if not for everybody, at least maybe for me. The character John is infuriating. I mean, good God. There's only so many times that his wife could be, it's his wife, dude. And she's clearly not insane. Like, I don't think. She didn't come off as such. Obviously, but still, if I were in his situation, there's a limit to when someone you're supposed to, trust fully is telling you, dude, I'm feeling this way. Hey, asshole, something's wrong here. He was like totally just dead set on Esther being totally innocent. It's like, dude, I get it. It's a child and shit, and you want this to work out. But you don't really know her. Who cares if she's, a 9-year-old girl? You don't know her. You've been with your wife for fucking, I'm assuming, decades or so. Fuck. I don't know. They're a young couple, but they're fucking married. They have 2 children together already. So, I don't know. It got to a point with the husband, with John, that it was just, really? Are you that fucking stupid? Like, listen to her. Shit. It's not like, shit, even when Esther was trying to tell the mom that, I saw Daddy fucking flirting with fucking Big Tits McGee at the park while we were all playing and shit. And then, how did he not go to her at that point and be like, hey, fucking, what's up, dude? Why you talking shit? Why are you trying to stir the pot? I don't know. Probably wouldn't approach the child in that manner, sure, but still, he just seemed a little too dense for me. It got on my nerves here and there, but still, somehow, I like the actor, I like Peter Sarsgaard, so somehow I still enjoyed his performance, but it bothers me that his wife had to bitch so much about it, and it never got through to him, but the instant Esther made him uncomfortable one time, it was an instant, fuck no, I'm done here. It was just a little bit like, what the fuck, dude? But it is what it is. I still enjoyed, the character. One character I didn't enjoy at all was the son. Dude, I wanted to smack that kid in the head so bad. He pissed me off. He pissed me off a lot. So much so that by the time it got to the end, when Esther was, really getting close to maybe killing him in the hospital there in those scenes, shit, dude, I almost didn't even care. That kid pissed me off. And, turns out he was right. Esther was awful. Yeah, sure. But in the beginning there, he was just being a prick for no reason, and he was really good at it. He was really good at it. So I just didn't like that. But maybe that's, a compliment to his acting. Maybe you weren't supposed to like him, but I don't think you're supposed to hate a child. And I would take the psychotic, mini 30-year-old over that child. It's bad. But all in all, I really, really enjoyed The Orphan. I thought it was really good, and I regret not seeing it sooner. I skipped it for so many years because it got spoiled for me right out the gate, man. I mean, I remember when it came out. I was still in high school, and I remember not being particularly excited about it. You know, there wasn't a big rumbling of it back then necessarily that I remember. But I remember I wanted to see it, and then one of my dickhead friends just 100% spoiled it for me. It was like, oh yeah, dude, that movie was nuts, dude. The little girl, she's like in her 30s the whole time. She's just has some sort of like defect or whatever, and just completely ruined it for me. But I should have seen it sooner. It's a good one, and it's one I think I'll totally revisit as well. And also, it gets me pretty psyched for the prequel, First Kill. I'm looking forward to that now. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure I will soon. So what do you think? Are you a big fan of The Orphan? Do you think Esther deserves more respect in the horror world? Do you count her as now like an official slasher icon? Because I kind of do. Anyways, leave your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, please. And also, you know, if you know of any super obscure, you know, horror films that you think maybe I haven't seen, leave them down below. And if I haven't seen them, I'll totally watch them and I'll do one of these. So, all right, see you guys later.